Hey everyone, and welcome back to CoinTalk Podcast on YouTube. Today we're going to be taking a deep dive into Solana. You guys sent in some really interesting analysis from trcrypto.news, and, well, got us thinking, is Solana maybe heading for a pretty big crash?
It's definitely a possibility. Yeah, the analysis from trcrypto.news lays out a pretty compelling case for why Solana, or SOL as it's known when you're trading it, could be looking at a 40% drop.
Okay, so let's unpack that a bit for our viewers here on CoinTalk Podcast. The article points to a few warning signs, and it starts with what's been happening with meme coins. Remember Bonk and Dog with Hat? Those were super popular for a little while, but their market cap has really shrunk, right?
Oh, absolutely. Just a month ago, those meme coins had a combined market cap of over $25 billion, and now it's down to $12 billion. And that kind of rapid deflation can really send shockwaves through the whole ecosystem.
Yeah, it's not just a meme coin problem then, is it?
Yeah.
It could signal a broader shift in how people are feeling about Solana in general.
Yeah.
What else in the analysis caught your attention?
Well, this is where it starts to get a little worrisome. The trading volume on Solana's decentralized exchanges has also really fallen. Like, it's dropped by a quarter in just a week. Key platforms like Radium, Meteora, Lifinity, they're all showing these big declines. And when traders start pulling back like that, it often raises questions about the platform's future.
Okay, so we've got shrinking meme coin enthusiasm. And there we have this declining trading volume. It's definitely looking like there's some waning confidence in Solana. But here on CoinTalk Podcast, we always try to look at the whole picture.
Yeah.
So what else is the analysis pointing out?
So the analysis goes on to look at some technical patterns, and this is where things get a little more complex. Solana has actually dropped below some key moving averages on the price charts, which can be a bit of a red flag for traders. Specifically, it's dipped below both the 50-day and the 25-day exponential moving averages.
Now, for viewers who might be new to technical analysis, could you quickly explain what those moving averages actually mean?
Sure. Imagine you're trying to figure out which direction a car is generally going in, based on how fast it's been going over time. A moving average is like looking at the car's average speed, say, over the past 50 days or 25 days. If the car's current speed drops below those averages, it might be a sign that it's slowing down, or maybe even about to make a U-turn.
Oh, that's a great analogy. So if we apply that to Solana, falling below these moving averages could mean it's losing momentum.
Exactly. And there's another pattern that's starting to show up. It's called a double top, which can often mean that an asset's upward trend is about to reverse. It's like, imagine a mountain climber trying to reach the top of a mountain, but they fail twice. That second failed attempt could suggest that they've hit their limit, and it's time for them to head back down.
Solana's price chart isn't exactly a mountain, but I get the idea. So this double top pattern is forming at $265, with a neckline at $170, according to the analysis. What would happen if Solana's price falls below that neckline?
Well, that would be a really bearish sign. It could confirm that the price is going to keep moving downwards and potentially push the price all the way down to the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level, which is around $120. And that's where that 40% drop figure comes from.
Wow, it's a pretty big drop. Sounds like there's a pretty good reason to be a little cautious with Solana right now.
Absolutely. But it's important to remember that technical analysis, while it's a useful tool, it's just one part of the whole picture. And that's actually what makes this deep dive on CoinTalk Podcast so interesting, because we've got another perspective to think about, a prediction from VanEck. That actually paints a much more positive picture for Solana's future.
That's right. And for anyone who's just tuning into CoinTalk Podcast, VanEck is a global investment management company with a really solid reputation. They're not really known for making wild predictions.
Exactly. And their prediction for Solana is actually pretty bold. They say that Solana could hit $520 by the end of 2025. That's almost 3 times what it's worth now.
So on one hand, we have all these signs that Solana might be heading for a crash, but then on the other hand, we have this super optimistic prediction from a really respected company. What a cryptocurrency conundrum.
It really shows just how volatile the crypto market is, and Solana in particular. So how do we make sense of these two seemingly opposite viewpoints? Well, that's exactly what we'll be discussing further here on CoinTalk Podcast, so stay tuned.
Don't go anywhere, folks. When we come back, we'll be diving into VanEck's bullish prediction and try to figure out what's making them so optimistic about Solana. And as always, if you're enjoying this deep dive into Solana, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. We really appreciate your support.
We do.
All right, see you soon for part 2. Welcome back to CoinTalk Podcast on YouTube. If you're just joining us, we're right in the middle of a deep dive into what the future holds for Solana.
Yeah.
And it's been pretty interesting so far. We've been looking at some potential warning signs, like those meme coins that have been plummeting in value. and the declining trading volume. Oh, and that double top pattern we talked about.
Yeah.
But of course, we can't forget about VanEck's prediction that Solana could actually skyrocket the $520 by the end of 2025.
Right.
Okay, so let's shift gears a little bit here on CoinTalk Podcast and dive into VanEck's perspective. Why are they so optimistic about Solana when everyone else seems to be raising these red flags?
Well, it seems like VanEck is taking a much longer-term view. They're looking beyond these short-term ups and downs in the market. They probably see something in Solana's underlying technology and its potential for growth. That outweighs all the negativity we've been seeing.
Okay, so let's break that down a bit. Solana's gotten a lot of attention as a potential Ethereum killer because of how fast its transactions are and its low fees. Could that be what's driving VanEck's optimism?
Yeah, it's definitely a major factor. Solana's ability to handle so many transactions so quickly and cheaply makes it really attractive for both developers and users. It's actually gained a lot of traction in the DeFi and NFT space, which could definitely contribute to future growth.
So for our viewers on CoinTalk Podcast who might not be familiar with those terms, DeFi stands for decentralized finance. Can you give us a quick explanation of what that means in the context of Solana?
Sure. Decentralized finance is basically trying to recreate traditional financial systems like lending, borrowing, and trading, but without needing traditional intermediaries, like banks. Solana's speed and low transaction fees make it a really good platform for building those DeFi applications.
That makes sense. And NFTs, or non-fungible tokens, have also become super popular on Solana.
Oh, absolutely. NFTs represent unique digital assets, things like artwork, collectibles, even virtual real estate. Solana's platform has attracted a whole community of NFT creators and collectors, which has given its ecosystem another boost.
So while some people are focusing on the short-term risks, VanEck seems to be betting on Solana's long-term potential. In these emerging areas of blockchain technology, it's almost like they're looking past the storm clouds and seeing a clear, sunny day ahead.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. And it highlights a really important point. The crypto market is incredibly volatile, and short-term ups and downs don't always reflect the long-term potential of a project. It's totally possible that Solana could experience a correction in the near future, but still end up reaching new highs in the next few years.
This is exactly why we do these deep dives here on CoinTalk Podcast, folks. We want to give you the knowledge and the different perspectives. You need to make sense of this exciting and sometimes really confusing world of cryptocurrency.
Yeah, it's all about looking at multiple sources and getting different perspectives. Just like it's important not to panic when the market dips in the short term, it's also important not to get too excited by bullish predictions.
Right. Investing in crypto requires a balanced approach, especially when you're dealing with something as volatile as Solana.
Exactly. Don't make rash decisions based on hype or fear. Do your research, understand the risks, and make informed decisions that align with your own investment goals.
Really solid advice. And if you're looking for more in-depth discussions about crypto, definitely make sure you subscribe to CoinTalk Podcast on YouTube. We have a ton of videos covering everything from Bitcoin to Ethereum and, of course, Solana.
So before we wrap up this part of our Solana deep dive, let's zoom out a bit and think about some of the bigger factors that could affect Solana's price in the long run. What should our CoinTalk Podcast viewers be paying attention to?
That's a great question. One thing that immediately comes to mind is the regulatory landscape. Governments around the world are still figuring out how to regulate cryptocurrencies. And any major changes in policy could have a ripple effect across the whole market.
Oh, for sure. More regulation could actually create more stability and attract institutional investors. But it could also stifle innovation and slow down growth. It's kind of a double-edged sword.
Yeah. Another thing we can't ignore is how widely blockchain technology is being adopted. If we see more businesses and industries using blockchain, that could really increase demand for platforms like Solana.
Right. And of course, competition is a huge factor. Ethereum, Cardano, other blockchains, they're always evolving and trying to get a bigger share of the market. So Solana needs to keep innovating and improving if it wants to stay ahead.
It's wild how many factors are at play here. It's clear that the future of Solana, like any cryptocurrency, is uncertain. There are things that could make its price go up and things that can make it go down.
And that's why it's so important to stay informed.
Exactly. And that's where CoinTalk Podcast on YouTube comes in. We're here to help you understand how complex the crypto world is and help you make informed decisions.
We're all about giving our viewers the tools they need to navigate the crypto world with confidence.
Absolutely.
And before we move on, I just want to emphasize one more time. Investing in crypto always has risks. It's really important to remember to never invest more than you can afford to lose.
Couldn't agree more. Okay, folks, we've covered a lot of ground in this segment, looking at both the bullish and bearish arguments for Solana, but we're not quite done yet. Stick around for the final part of our deep dive into Solana, coming up right after this. Welcome back to CoinTalk Podcast on YouTube for the final part of our deep dive into the future of Solana.
It has been a wild ride, hasn't it? Exploring all the arguments for and against Solana's success.
Yeah, we've talked about a lot, from those meme coins that have lost so much value and the declining trading volume. Oh, and then a double top pattern, and then of course there's VanEck's prediction that Solana's price is going to go way up in the next few years.
It really has been fascinating, this deep dive. It just goes to show how dynamic and unpredictable the crypto market can be.
For sure. So before we wrap things up here on CoinTalk Podcast, let's take a step back for a second. What does all this mean? For someone watching this right now, what are the key takeaways that you think our viewers should keep in mind?
Well, I think the most important takeaway is that you need to have a balanced perspective. You can't get caught up in the hype or the fear. Remember, we've seen evidence that supports both sides, a potential crash and a potential surge.
Yeah, that's a really important point. It's so easy to get swept up in the emotional roller coaster of the crypto market, especially with all these bold predictions and scary headlines.
Exactly. You really have to approach crypto investing with a level head. Do your own research, know the risks, and never invest more than you can afford to lose.
And that's where resources like CoinTalk Podcast on YouTube are so helpful. We're here to break down these complex topics, offer different viewpoints, and hopefully give you the knowledge you need to make informed decisions.
We want our viewers to feel confident navigating the crypto world.
Exactly. So to sum up our Solana deep dive,
Right.
I think it comes down to this. The future of Solana, like any cryptocurrency, is uncertain. There are things that could push its price up and things that can pull it down.
But if you stay informed, do your research, and consider all sides of the story, you can make better choices that fit your own investment goals.
Couldn't said it better myself. A big thank you to everyone who joined us for this deep dive into Solana here on CoinTalk Podcast on YouTube. If you found this episode helpful, please show us some love by hitting that subscribe button, smashing the like button, and leaving a comment down below. We love hearing from you guys.
Yeah, and don't forget to share this video with your friends who are curious about crypto. Let's spread the knowledge and help more people understand this amazing world of blockchain technology.
Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and as always, happy investing.